Hi, my name is Luke.
And my name is Mike.
I play the bass and I sing in Canterbury.
And I play the guitar and sing in Canterbury.
Okay, so as opposed to regular venues, what do you think it's like playing at a venue where it's run by teenagers instead of professionals?
Just having a conversation about
it's a bit messier.
With balloons everywhere.
Just balloons everywhere.
No,
everywhere.
I think it's amazing, really, like, because they're always, well, it feels to us, obviously, we've been in a band like 7, 8, maybe even longer than that, years now. And that obviously starts from like a local scene and then builds up and whatever, become like a national thing. But like, so you don't see the kind of local scenes being like driven forward by like the youth of today so much anymore, like around. So it's like, to come somewhere like this and for it to be proper alive and well, it's amazing to see. I reckon it's encouraging for sure.
Okay, what's been your biggest challenge as a band so far?
Getting here today was quite treacherous.
We're 25, but a massive challenge in front of us today.
No, we released our last album kind of like completely off our own backs. We created a label for it, we did all the work, kind of, and I think that was something that we never really could appreciate how much work truly goes into releasing a record.
Yeah.
So
looking back on it, it was quite a challenge.
When that pulled off, it was kind of like, that was our biggest challenge and it worked, kind of thing.
It was like an extended challenge that took about 9 months, and only at the end you can look back and be like, that was quite tough. But yeah, I mean, being in a band is as awesome as anything could possibly be, but it's a constant challenge, you ask anyone. So.
Okay, thank you. Have you ever did a gig that is raising money for charity, especially Teenage Cancer Trust?
I don't think we've done one for Teenage Cancer Trust. We did a show a couple of years ago for Air Ambulance, which was pretty cool. I remember that. And we met one of the Air Ambulance pilots, and he was like, "Oh, if I'd known, I would have flown you in, like in the chop." And we were like, "If you'd known, like, don't we do it again? Like, can we play again?" And you fly us in. But never a Teenage Cancer Trust. Obviously, it's a massively important.
It's a great thing to do though, because I think more than ever, live music kind of rallies people up to do good things and to kind of give generously and stuff like that. And if you, as a band, can kind of spare sales of your merch for people putting money in a charity pot, I think that's a good thing.
Okay. Okay, so throughout your band history, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on tour?
I don't know.
Embarrassing.
I fell off stage once.
I fell on stage.
I fainted on stage once.
It's not really embarrassing, it's kind of like, oh, you were right, mate.
Yeah, but it's kind of embarrassing. A lot of people had their phones out.
Yeah,
we both managed to fall over.
I've fallen over, yeah, I've tripped backwards over a stage monitor
and you just never look good.
Flat
I mean,
down,
there's
yeah,
no way you get the quicker you get up, the more you laugh about it, or even just seriousness. You're never going to look cool, like especially backwards.
Yeah, no, it was bad. That was bad. It was years ago now as well. It's still kind of on the forefront.
Okay, cool. Okay, name one thing that you can't live without on tour.
Excluding your instruments.
Yeah.
Excluding what, sorry?
Your instruments.
Oh, instruments.
That would be a very tour manager.
Yeah, yeah.
Luke's brother.
He's a tour manager. Well, he's not actually here today, and we're kind of falling apart. So it could be true. Like right now, we've got proving the point that we can't do that. But if we're talking about physical items,
A pair of headphones, right?
Yeah, that's quite boring. But yeah, a pair of headphones.
Cool.
So have you got any advice for bands who want to kind of start getting a bit bigger, or if they want to just start a band together? Or?
Yeah. Well, we're not necessarily the best example of how to get big quick, because we're still a small band. We've been a small band for like 8 years now. But I mean, you've just got to keep going at it. Like, obviously some bands have their moment where all of a sudden it will take off for them and it will launch into this like go hyper and everyone's suddenly into your band and you're selling out massive venues. Like, certainly can't give sound advice as to how to do that.
Yeah, but I think if you slog it out and you kind of build, because there are so many bands that get really big really quick, and then the next year they're nowhere, because it's like, whereas it feels really cool, I'm sure, to have all that stuff. I mean, if you don't put the basic foundations, which take years and years to kind of solidify, like touring around the country playing to almost no one, but if, you know, 5 people go away from that gig who didn't know you and
connecting with your music.
Like, I think we're at a really cool stage where we're not a huge band and we don't sell out like massive venues, but we have this really cool group of fans that we've built up over the years, and they've grown up with us, and it's kind of like,
that's kind of the most
it
important.
feels so much better than like a fake audience who are kind of only there because you're some guy that's on the front cover of some magazine or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, like, so that's why it's like, I mean, you just got to keep plugging away. If you believe in it yourself, then chances are other people are going to, you might get that winning ticket, but the only thing you can do if you don't get that winning ticket is just head down and crack on and keep writing music and keep releasing it, and eventually it will find its audience.
Also, just focus on the songs.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't do that at the moment. Like, in terms of what's out there, like, a lot of things are just kind of rehashing old ideas and kind of copying other people. But I think if you really sit down and you really want to do it, then you think about something that's going to like move people and talk to people for real. Like, sit down and actually focus on songs, even if that means that you're not going to go out and tour for a year because you're going to sit down and write an album. Like, at the end of the day, you need the songs.
Yeah.
I hope we have.
It's your only tool. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all we've got.